Hello Bitcoin world, it's Brian here, the UK Bitcoin Master, back with another video in my series, Bitcoin for Beginners. As always, please like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, bash the bell button so you get notified when I post any videos, and you can also follow me across all the platforms that I'm on: Steemit, Twitter, Bit.Tube, DTube, BitBacker.io. I'm on there as well, which is an alternative to Patreon, so any pledges or sponsors would be greatly received over there as well, and this video is uploaded to all of those platforms. Today is the 28th of January 2019, and crikey, we're almost a 12th through the year already. 1 month has nearly gone. It is crazy where time is going. It really is. Before we get into the topic for today, do check out the notes section below where you can book me for a Bitcoin consultation. You can buy t-shirts, register on an exchange. My archives are below at www.ukbitcoinmaster.com, where you can check out all my previous videos. So do check out the notes section below, because there are always any links pertinent to the videos, the shows that I do. So, you know, all the content creators will encourage you, do check out the notes sections. So today, again on the theme of going right back to basics and helping new people into the space to understand things like the jargon, etc. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you all through 7 principles, strengths, traits that give Bitcoin its strength, and why I personally encourage you to invest in Bitcoin. Now, that doesn't mean that all altcoins are bad. It simply means, from my own personal perspective, that Bitcoin is the rock. It is the sound money of the future. It is where you stand the highest chance, I believe, of gaining the greatest gains over the medium to long term. If you want to make short-term gains, I don't think Bitcoin is for you. It's too volatile. Go and trade altcoins. But, you know, I'm not advising you to do that, because I believe most people that trade altcoins end out losing their money. So this channel is all about Bitcoin. So I want to talk to you today about what gives Bitcoin its strength, and I've picked up 7 things I want to help you to understand, not going into any great depth here, but just to give you a basic understanding, if you're a newbie, on things to look out for when investing into any type of cryptocurrency. So in terms of Bitcoin only, the first thing you need to understand, and I've said this on many shows before, is that Bitcoin is decentralized. So what I want to do is explain what that means, and I've got a few notes so I don't miss anything, even though I've learned so much about this over the last 18 months or so. A centralized exchange is a website that handles the trading of Bitcoin or fiat, and fiat means currencies, or other cryptocurrencies. An exchange's purpose is to allow you to trade Bitcoin for fiat currency and to other cryptocurrencies like Litecoin, Ethereum, etc. Now, if we talk about a centralized exchange, one that typically springs up is something like Coinbase. Everyone seems to have heard of Coinbase. It is currently the granddaddy of exchanges. It doesn't mean it's going to be the exchange of choice going forward as more and more decentralized exchanges crop up. But certainly most people have heard of Coinbase. Now, if you are new to this, you need to be aware of something. Over Bitcoin's 10-year history, exchanges have been hacked. Now that means an exchange is what we call a custodian. It's like a bank. It holds your Bitcoin, or it holds your money if it's a bank. And if an exchange gets hacked, you could lose all of your Bitcoin. So that's one reason not to keep your coins on an exchange, which is why I do consultations on buying Bitcoin, how to buy it, how to then move it off an exchange onto a Trezor hardware device, and then what you do after that. And you can email me below if you'd like a consultation. I'll be happy to arrange one with you. So a centralized exchange is not something we content creators advise you should keep your Bitcoin on. So you need to keep your Bitcoin on a decentralized exchange. Now let's have a look at the pros and cons of what we've just discussed. Firstly, the pros. When you own your own Bitcoin, there are no banks, there are no financial institutions or governments that can take it from you. You control your own funds. That's so important. It's anonymous. So that's, with all that's going on in the world today, about us being spied on, anonymity is a really good thing. No hack for central servers or any downtime either. And also, no trading fees if you are holding Bitcoin. The cons or the downsides, beginners, well, you need to learn to use it correctly and fast. Hence, having a Bitcoin consultation, better to pay out a tiny bit of your Bitcoin than to lose all of your Bitcoin. You must take personal responsibility for securing your funds, which is what I've just really been referring to. And finally, if your computer gets hacked, bye-bye funds. They are gone. So it also teaches you and educates you on how to look after your computer, not go on fraudulent websites and not download dodgy files, etc. And since I've been involved in Bitcoin, I run a Mac computer, but I'm just absolutely over the top with what I click on or don't click on, what I download, what I don't download. So it also educates you there. And this is all what I refer to as self-sovereignty, taking back your financial sovereignty, your computer sovereignty, if you like, and looking after it yourself. So a bank or an exchange will do it for you, but they're centralized. They could get hacked and you could lose everything, or you can take control of that, but you have to go through a learning curve and watch channels like mine to help educate you on what you should and what you shouldn't do. So that's the first one, centralized versus decentralized. The next one, open source software. What does that mean? Well, open source simply means no changes can be implemented on a blockchain unless general consensus is agreed, which means that if someone wants to change that and the majority are against it, that change is not implemented, and the new protocol would need to branch off of the main chain, start their own chain, and that is what we refer to as a fork, which is fantastic because it means nobody can change the Bitcoin protocol. There is no central figurehead, CEO, company, nothing. So no changes can be made unless the general consensus agree to it. And that is absolutely key part of Bitcoin's success, I believe. Excuse me. It's immutable. It means it's unchanging over time or unable to be changed. It's fixed, it's set, it's rigid, it's changeless. It's inflexible, it's permanent, established, carved in stone, unchanging, unchangeable. It's static, constant, lasting, enduring, steadfast, and most importantly, not mutable. So that is immutable, and that is what gives Bitcoin its strength, which is, I guess, tied in to the consensus, which means it can only be changed or altered or taken in a different direction if general consensus is for that. which is so powerful. It means you can't have somebody come in and buy it up and say, right, I'm going to make all these changes now, that we've seen so much with the Bcash fork and, Bitcoin Vision and, Bitcoin SV is Bitcoin Vision and the Bitcoin ABC, which is Bitcoin Cash or Bcash as we refer to it. You're not going to see that in Bitcoin, which is really important if you're looking at investing into this. The next one, it is unconfiscatable. Now, how many times have we gone through life and had things confiscated? Can't happen with Bitcoin. Governments, I'll refer to India, Venezuela, to name just a couple, really can confiscate anything you own, from your home, your bank account, precious metals, anything. If they feel the need, they can confiscate it, trust me. But they cannot confiscate your Bitcoin. As long as you take personal responsibility and you have your private keys, they can't take them. Holding your Bitcoin on a Trezor, another reason to book a consultation to find out how you do that. Keeping it separate from passwords and recovery seeds. So you don't have your Trezor and your passphrase or your recovery seeds in the same place. So important. Making sure only need to know parties are aware of those keys or where it is, etc., makes it completely unconfiscatable. And that is so powerful. It is uncensorable. Bitcoins are impossible to counterfeit or inflate. You can use them to send or receive any amount of money with anyone, anywhere in the world at a really, really low cost. And particularly now with the on-ramping of the Lightning Network in beta, but rolling out and more people using it, you're finding transactions are like just an absolute fraction of nothing at all. So it is uncensorable, and that's so powerful as well. And finally, on the 7 things that I think are important, and I may have missed a few, I don't know, I've done a bit of research, maybe I've missed a couple, but these are really important, and that is limited supply. Now, this is a big one, because you see, when something is limited in supply, you will find high demand, low supply equals higher price. Now, there's only ever going to be 21 million coins mined. Something like 17, maybe even nearly 18 million coins have already been mined. 3 or 4 million are lost, or keys lost, or the coins thrown away on an old hard drive, or whatever. So when the 21 million are fully mined, and most of them are already, there's going to be about 18, maybe 19 million in existence. Think of how many millionaires there are in the world, billionaires there are in the world, banks, financial institutions, pension funds, etc. So you can clearly see that there isn't even enough for everyone to have just one Bitcoin. Eventually, a fraction of a Bitcoin will be too expensive to buy, because the demand will be so high for it as it gains mainstream adoption, as it gains worldwide acceptance. That will take some time to happen, of course, but it will happen. All of a sudden, even if you've got a tiny bit of Bitcoin, even 100 quid's worth, 1,000 quid's worth, half a Bitcoin, 1 Bitcoin, you're going to be in a fantastic place in maybe 5 years, a decade from now. So, which is why I always say on all of my shows, I encourage you, get some Bitcoin. Whatever you do, get some Bitcoin. Set up a consultation with me and I'll tell you how to do it properly so you don't risk anything. And that's invaluable as well. Don't store it on the exchange. Get it off onto a Trezor hardware device and then wait. You can even have it on a Trezor, and you can plug your Trezor into a computer. And if you're not aware of it, you can make one simple click of your mouse and woof, you can lose all your Bitcoin. That is why a consultation can be so life-saving in terms of your Bitcoin fund going forward. So I hope you found those bullet points and their meanings useful, helpful. If you're new in the space or you're thinking of entering into the space, you see a lot of these altcoins don't have this. And that is what makes Bitcoin so unique. It has stood the test of time. It has stood the test of TV companies hammering it, politicians hammering it, governments trying to stop it, and it always bounces back. We're in a sideways market right now, but as sure as eggs are eggs, I am convinced personally that once it goes on another bull run, it is going to exponentially grow so fast you will wish you'd bought some Bitcoin. If you are watching this video into the future, God willing, I'm still here. You may be ruining not buying some and just finding this video, or you may be thinking, yeah, he was dead right, I got some, and look at what my fund is worth right now. So take heed, guys, get some Bitcoin, work on building up to 1 Bitcoin, then 5, then 10, then 20, or whatever you can build up to, because in the future it's going to be so scarce, everybody's going to want it. People will pay fortunes for a fraction of a Bitcoin, or even what we call a Satoshi, liken that to, say, a penny in a pound. Yeah. So get some. Set up a monthly pay plan, so maybe 10% of your salary or your wages goes into accumulating a little bit more Bitcoin, and I promise you, you won't go far wrong. So that's our show for today, guys. Thanks for watching as always. Please, if you feel up to it, drop a tip using the wallet address in the notes section below. Give us a like, a thumbs up, a re-steam, whatever it is, wherever you're watching this video. And that's our show for today, guys. I will catch you all again on Thursday. But from me, Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master, thanks for watching. Follow me on Twitter at UK Bitcoin Master and all those other platforms. And I will catch you all on Thursday. As always, have yourselves a fantastic Bitcoin day.